When I first joined SAMRO, I didn't think much about the idea of tiers. I figured once you're in, you're in. You register your works and eventually royalties must show up. But there's more to it than that, and most South African creatives don't even realize they're stuck at the entry level, prospective member, for many years. So today I want to talk about the SAMRO membership structure, not just what each tier is, but how you move through them and why very few ever get past the first one. So let's get into it. The next thing to take note of is this. SAMRO's membership system is based on actual earnings, works notified, and their internal point system. Cool. So it's a 3-tier system, starting with the prospective member, then the associate member, then you get full membership. You don't apply to jump these tiers, you have to qualify. And if you don't understand how those qualifications work, it's very easy to stay stuck at the base level even while your music is active. Let's start with the first tier, prospective member. This is where everybody starts. If you're a composer or author, you pay a once-off 100 Rand registration fee. If you're a publisher, it's 500 Rand. Once you're in, you get a SAMRO reference number, an IPI number, and access to the member portal where you can register your works. And that's where most people stop. They register 3, maybe 4 tracks, maybe this new single that comes out, and then they don't look at it ever again. But what they don't realize is that being a prospective member means you don't yet qualify for the full benefits of being a SAMRO member. You can register works, sure, you might even get some minor royalty statements showing tiny figures, but you won't qualify for various benefits and voting rights at the AGM. And here's the stat that shocked me when I read the SAMRO 2024 report. 84% of members are prospective members. That means most creatives in the system never progress to the next level, even though it's not that difficult to get there. Let me explain. To move from prospective to associate member, you need to earn at least 100 Rand in royalties over any 3-year period. That is not a lot. That's maybe a few radio plays, a decent general performance log, maybe even one background use in an advert. For publishers, the bar is a bit higher, 1,000 Rand. But the point is this, SAMRO only promotes you when your work starts earning. And once you're an associate member, things open up. You can now participate in full royalty distributions. You can attend and vote at the AGMs. You can qualify for the SAMRO funeral and retirement annuity benefits as well. You can also be voted onto trustee boards and access SAMRO's educational and funding initiatives. That's a big jump in benefit for a relatively small threshold. But still, only about 15% of members qualify. Why? Because a lot of creatives don't understand that work registration alone isn't enough. You also need accurate metadata, clean titles, cue sheets from broadcasters, logs from live performances, and regular follow-ups to make sure your works are actually being tracked. The system works, but only if you feed it the right data and if you stay active. Now let's talk about the highest tier, full member. This one isn't just about earnings. You need to accumulate enough points based on your royalty earnings, your tenure, and the number of registered works. It's a system SAMRO uses to track consistency, not just success. Full members have all the benefits of associate members, plus the ability to be elected to the SAMRO board, stronger representation in governance, greater input into how SAMRO evolves over time. But here's the real eye-opener. Only 1% of all members qualify as full members. That means the majority of creatives never make it to the level where they could have a big influence. Not because they lack the talent, but because they didn't know how to work the system over time. The next thing to take note of is how qualifying for these tiers forces you to build a real catalog. 1 or 2 songs might get you 100 Rand, but to hit full member status, you'll need dozens, maybe hundreds of registered works that are earning consistently across multiple channels. And that's what you should be working toward, not just the payout, but the position. Because you should want to be able to vote or have some kind of a say, to influence the system you benefit from, to sit at the table and represent creatives like us, who aren't always the loudest, but who are serious about turning this into something sustainable. So if you're watching this and you're still sitting at the prospective level, that's okay. Most of us are there or we started there, but don't stop there. Start tracking your performances. Register every cue. Upload your notification of works consistently. Push your catalog until it starts moving. That's how you move through the tiers. That's how you go from being in the system to being an active contributor. If you found this helpful, go watch the video I did on how much SAMRO paid out in 2024. I break down the actual numbers and how they affect you directly. The link is in the description or in the pinned comment. Drop a comment if you're still at the Prospective level, or if you've made it to associate or full. Let's see how far we can take this thing. Subscribe if you're serious, because this journey is just getting started. Peace.